know it's going to be a good video when this is on the table. So, I've been wearing this thing for a year now, a little bit over that actually, and I really like it. I've been really enjoying the Pebble and all that stuff. I've been really looking forward to, you know, the Pebble Time 2 that's supposed to be coming out. I have a pre-order in for it and all that stuff. The Pebble Time Round 2 looks pretty good, or the Pebble Round 2, whatever they end up calling it. But it's not my kind of thing. I prefer the square little watch face like this, so it kind of fits in with everything and I'm not stretching everything out. But about that pre-order, my Pebble Time 2 showed up today. And I have never been more excited for a tech product that has come out than this thing right here. This is going back to being my, well, what was my first smartwatch, which was the original Pebble. And hearing about its death and now 10 years later, its revival, it's been insane. But I want to crack this thing open and finally get to see it. I do have my Moondrop phone over to the side. It's not going to be my main phone. My main phone is up there, but because I don't want it potentially showing sensitive data, I am keeping to the Moondrop phone just for testing purposes. But let's get this thing open and finally see what the Pebble Time 2 is. It's been 10 years since it was canceled. It's about time. First of all, looking over the box here, contains a smartwatch and charging dongle. Compatible smartphone, watch strap, and USB cable required. Download the app. I already have. Pebble Time 2, the black and gray model. It is made in China. It is designed by Core Devices. I do like the fact that he named the company after the canceled fucking little brick that was... I'm hoping they come out with. They're not going to, but I hope they do. But it'll probably be after he finishes the Index and the Round. But let's get this thing open. I think it looks like I should be able to slide this off like a sleeve. Yeah. That is thick cardboard. It's actually kind of impressive. This is plastic in here, which, or maybe, it doesn't feel like plastic, but it looks like plastic. And get that open. First of all, this right here is kind of cool to me. It's a charging dongle that if I can get it out, actually hold it, or don't, that works too. You know, I like whenever plastic doesn't peel off properly. It's actually like a paper thing. It's like it looks like baking paper. It's a little charging dongle that plugs in with USB Type-C, so it's official. The Pebble now charges with Type-C. I think all of them could. I mean, this could fit on the Pebble Time. Right? Yeah, that fits on the Pebble Time. Pretty snugly, too. I didn't know that he got the actual, the logo approved. I didn't know Google let him do that. But this is the actual watch. Straight out of the factory. Man, bit beautiful. We got plastic along the side here. That's my only downside to me. The plastic is for the antenna bands. If you didn't know, the original Pebble Time, or Pebble Time Steel, has a little plastic ridge going around the entire outside of it. That is how it looked as good as it did. It seemed like that was going to be the direction they were going for originally, but they ended up going with a more plastic along the edge design, which I'm okay with because repairability and all that, it means that we don't have to worry about this needing heat to take it off. On the back here, Pebble, 30M water resistant. We got the water resistance rating back. We've got a heart rate sensor, nice little Pebble thing there. Your up, down, middle buttons. How do those feel? Feel good. Over here is your back button. And I have probably accidentally turned it on by doing this, but before we do get it on, yep, I have definitely turned it on. Set that aside for a moment. Get out the watch band. Open here, is what that says. Now, a lot of what I can say about this is going to be the same as what I said about the original Pebble, because as much as it's cool, there's not a lot of changes with the new Pebble. Other than the fact that it's got a heart rate sensor now on the Time series and a bigger screen. Which I'm a little concerned about because I'm a developer for a couple apps that I do behind the scenes. I have only I have edited a watch face, which is this Poketch one right here. It is edited to integrate with an app that I have that lets me ping my partner from anywhere on the world, and it's kind of nice, but I kind of keep that private, other than the fact I'm telling you guys now it exists. but I'm concerned with it potentially working on the bigger screen. I tested in the emulator and it seems fine, but the watch face does not scale up real nicely in the emulator. So hopefully it scales up on the actual thing pretty well. And by not scaling up, I mean you can't get scale up to work on the emulator yet, from what I saw. But let's go ahead and put this band on. Looks like I should do it this way. Come on. It is plastic right there, which is a little concerning, but it's surrounded by metal, so I'm not... But, the band being elastic right there means that it does stretch a little bit. But should be good to go. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Just had a phone call come in, needed to handle that real quick. Well, let's get the bottom band back on now. So, on it goes. We'll do some comparisons between the two in just a moment. Alright. Now, let us peel that off. This is for installing the app and connecting to it. I go ahead and get the Pebble app loaded up on here. Add watch. Scanning for devices. Okay, that's fine. Connect. Allow. Yes, you can do all that. Yes, allow. Yeah, wow, that screen's bigger. That screen's so much bigger. Oh my gosh. Checking for Pebble OS. Updating to the latest version of Pebble OS. We will get to that in a moment. Before I take this off screen, actually, I'm going to take the phone off screen. But, just for comparison's sake, this is the Pebble Time Steel. They are not that much different in size. In fact, I would place a bet that if you have extra screen protectors for the original Pebble Time Steel, it may fit over here with a little bit of overlap. I was going to get some screen protectors and put them on from the Pebble Time Steel, but I forgot where mine are at. Also, this band is a lot smaller than my current one. Not a lot, but like a half inch. How does that actually feel on the wrist? I may need a bigger band. I may need the bigger one. I'm used to that kind of mechanism because this watch band uses the same, but man, that feels weird to be, after so many years, like, to have a new Pebble on my wrist. That's weird to me, man. Oh, that's kind of cool. Also, I will go ahead and say the screen's a lot easier to see on this than the Pebble Time and the Pebble Time Steel. The flat display definitely helps a ton. Wow. Okay, it's really hard to see with this, but that's beautiful. Let me turn up the brightness real quick. Display. Backlight. The max intensity. Blinding. There we go. Now you can see it. Yeah, that is so cool to me. Finally being able to see that. Let's see how the watch face looks on it real quick. Let me get the phone back up. That is my pen. Don't you lie to me. Get started. Get some watch faces. Get some faces and stuff like that. Nah. Enable health tracking. They just added the health stuff. Heart rate during activity. Activity insights. Sleep insights. Imperial units. I am in freedom units. Sure, we'll say that that's all accurate. It's not. Actually, yeah, it won't matter. It won't matter. I'm a little bit more of the heavier type. And we'll sync to Health Connect. I'm gonna move that off the screen. Sync to Health Connect. Yep. And offline speech recognition. I prefer the local with cloud feed fallback. So you can download the offline model, which is nice. You don't have to pay for a Rebel subscription anymore. I'm going to, because of the fact I use Bobby. But here we are. My watch faces. They only have 2. Made for Pebble 2. I want to try Poketch. This is the one I modified to make mine. Let's see how it looks. Oh no, that looks actually pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't have twist wake on. I need to. There we go. Yeah, it's not too bad. I can happily use that with how way it is. And it works on the Pebble Time too already, which is great to me. Not really a whole bunch to say about this. The buttons feel a lot nicer. If you've had a Pebble Time Steel, the buttons feel the same as this whenever you like properly have it set up and everything. When it's dirty, by the way, if your buttons feel mushy, take some alcohol along the edge right here. Same on this side. And it really cleans it up. This should not have that issue because the buttons are a little bit more down. The reason that happens is because your skin kind of reaches up and gets across it. So it's not two things. The only thing I will say I'm not the biggest fan of is the glass is raised on this, which is not... This was flush. Now, granted, it curved out, so you still hit the glass a lot. But the edge of a glass display is where you're most likely going to hit it and get damage done to it and all that stuff. I am not a big fan of that. I'd be more worried about a case than I would a screen protector. Or there's the guy who makes like the bumper cases and the buttons and stuff for the Pebble Time or the Pebble 2. Actually released a model for a bracket that you can put around it. I think that should fix the problem. I'll probably end up doing that with like orange or something because I was really hoping there would be a black and orange one, and there was not. There was a black and red, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted orange. So I'm gonna probably put an orange bezel on this thing because I think it'll look sleek. But I am thoroughly happy to have this on my arms. That is not the time here, by the way. This time zone is set up for something that's not mine. Actually, is it set up to my phone? Yeah, my phone says it's that time. It's not. This phone has just not been set up in a long time. But I don't think I need to go too deep into this thing. I will say the improvements of it. There's a heart rate sensor. The backlight. Can we do this already? Display. Backlight. Can you... No? No. Is it in the app? Settings. General? I don't need an index feed. Watch. Display. We've already turned on backlight. Backlight color! So, does that work? I set it to blue. Yes, the backlight is blue. They actually put in the RGB backlight, which means you can change it to any color you like, including white, which means that it's just like the original now. Except for that screen does look a lot nicer, and this is a lot faster to act with, too. I will say the OS seems like it needs a little bit of smoothing out. Going back and forth right there feels a little rough, but like moving around and stuff feels... I got a poke catch coin flip? Poke catch coin flip. Yeah, coin flip. Whee. I'm excited. I'm gonna end up using this a lot. Backlight on tap I would not like. I want, if I'm gonna have backlight, like, be on, I want it to be the same way the original Pebble was. Where's my shake to wake? Backlight. Wake on motion on, wake on touch off. Wait, is it on? That didn't seem like it was working before with the motion I normally do. There we go. Okay, I guess if you turn off tap, it works. But yeah, that's really cool. I really like the RGB thing. Can I... Hold on. Do that. Yeah, it kind of looks yellow. Yeah, it kind of looks burnt. Not the color I would like it to be, but that's still pretty cool. That's really cool. I know that that's just something that they just added just for fun. I think it's one of the coolest things, is just having a new backlight type thing. Menu scrolling, the up button will go to the bottom of menus, backlight on, left-handed mode, the button functions are reversed. What does that do? Does that mean that, oh, what the? Oh! Is it still back then, though? No, it's still select. Okay. So it's so that your thumb will sit on the left hand. They would be here. That's cool. Did the original Pebble have that? No. No, it did not. Huh. I'm right-handed, so I don't need that. Which is also funny, because if I'm not mistaken, left-handed is actually this way. Like, this is how you're supposed to do for left-handed usage, but I've always worn my watch on my left hand, or on my right hand. So I've always been a weird one out. Music. Ooh, volume controls. I can turn off the progress bar. That, thank you. The progress bar kills your battery, so if you're leaving this on, because it has to update every second, that is awful. I'm glad they added that setting. I don't know if it's in the original Pebble Time, but if it is new, thank you for that. And if it's old and I just didn't notice it, I really wish I did. I just noticed that whenever the battery got low, it stopped doing it. I think, though, should be everything. Oh, can actually try the, let me turn the backlight onto a backlight. Set it to white again. That way I can actually show you guys what's going on. Health. This is new. Heart rate. How well does the heart rate sensor work? It says I'm in the hundreds. That's normal for me. I wish that was a joke. 83. That's pretty close. Yeah, that's not bad. Obviously, heart rate sensors and stuff like that should not be used as an end-all be-all for, hey, you have health problems. My heart rate used to sit at a constant 100, so that was my resting heart rate. I've actually gotten a lot calmer over the years, it seems, which is good. The step counter seems like it works pretty well, and the fact that this now syncs up to Google Health means that if you're using things like Pokemon Go, or the Ingress games, or the Pikmin Bloom, or any of those games that require your step counters, or if you just want to sync it up to other things and have everything go into Google Health, you can do that, and it's really nice, including, I think this thing can also sync up to Samsung Health now, which is really cool. I don't know what else to say really much. I'm really happy it's here. I am going to use the crap out of it. There is a touchscreen on it, but only certain apps can use it. Actually, let me show that real quick, because there is an app I wanted to try. Me being me. I search up Pokemon apps. Pebblemon. Let's add this to the watch real quick. So, from what I read and saw, they have just added features to this. Let's see if we can get it to work. Yep. So, if you look now on the... You gotta really do that. It's got a D-pad. And an A-B button. So you can play little Pokemon game on your watch. Looks like we've got a Golbat against a Coughing. I won't go over this whole thing, but I do think it's really cool. It's not a full Pokemon adventure, but it's a really cool tech demo, it looks like. And it's a nice way of showing the fact that the touchscreen does work. That's actually really cool. I would love to see more of this kind of stuff done. Oh. What? Oh, I guess that makes sense, because the original ones didn't have buttons on them. You hold the back button, it always goes back to home, though. But yeah. I don't know what else to say about this thing. I'm just really happy it's finally here. It's been 10 years. I was not part of the Pebble Time 2 Kickstarter, but because I always waited until after the Kickstarters were over to buy them from Pebble directly, or buy them in like Best Buy where all of mine were at, and that's where I got my Pebble. Actually, yeah, my first Pebble was a Best Buy buy. The actual first time I saw one was my mother ended up with a red one from my stepdad. And she ended up returning it for an Apple Watch because it was a black and white screen and didn't work out for her. And then, like, a couple months later, I hear about this wonderful company, and I'm like, didn't you have one of these? And she was like, yeah, I hated it. I was like, can I have one? And I ended up saving money and going up and buying my first Pebble, and that's where this started. I was like probably 13. I was young. And now I'm sitting here 25 and really happy to have one again. But I think that's all. I am really happy to have this on my hand, on my wrist. And finally, it's time again. So, just setting things up so I can take pictures later. My name's Pokidoo2. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.